Well, let's start with the first question and look at why does the blind spot with respect to one's own biases, but not the biases of others, have important implications for our understanding of interpersonal and intergroup conflict? Well, looking at it this way, if people rely on theories about bias when evaluating the views of another party, but rely on introspection to detect discernible traces of bias in their own views, efforts to resolve disagreements are going to more than likely meet with a lot of frustration. On the other hand, if the disagreement is accompanied by hatred and the conviction that the other party seeks to prevail rather than reach an acceptable compromise, the question of bias now becomes secondary. The assumption will be that the other party sees the conflict through the prism of self-interest. What's in it for me? Its general dislike of our side or its misguided ideology. Managers and their employees, for example, will expend little effort in trying to truly understand the perspective of those on the other side of an issue, and as a result, will show little interest in meetings or discussions that are going to be designed to resolve conflict. Now, question number 2. What 2 strategies do managers, I can't get this thing to stay up, and employees use to determine whether a given judgment is a product of bias? Now, this might be a little bit more difficult to answer. So, research is going to show that both the managers and employees use 1 or 2 strategies to determine whether a given judgment is a product of bias. So, looking at both groups, they may consult their own theories of bias, but again, that's what the whole bias is about. They're not looking at the other side. They're only considering their side. So people are aware that human beings are motivated to, obviously, from a physiological standpoint, they look to seek pleasure and avoid pain. And they give heavy weight to their own needs and preferences, and they have an arsenal of psychological defense mechanisms at their disposal. So here again, they're only looking at their own agendas, and they're not necessarily listening to the other side. So this strategy leads people to suspect bias when they see others express self-serving beliefs. So what they only want to know. So the second thing is, people know that their co-workers are inclined to see matters through the prisms of their own ideologies. For example, a political stance or something that has to do with a culture. So this awareness in turn is going to lead people to suspect bias whenever they hear someone express a belief that is obviously someone equal or congruent with the claimant's worldview. So those are the answers to the questions, and look at the observe and reflect on this video cam, and that will be it for today. For tomorrow, I will be giving you an individual assignment that will be due on the, let's see, 15, 16, 17, let's say on the 19th of March. That'll give you enough time to be able to do the individual assignment. Well, good luck with it.